What is going on, YouTube? The J-Man here, and it's been a while. I apologize. I've really been into Destiny 2 lately. I've been playing a lot. I've been trying to play World of Tanks in between um, playing Destiny 2, but oh my god, this Destiny 2 is so much fun. It reminded me of the first Destiny when I used to play that all the time. It was one game I played. I joined clans. I was engaged in forums, and I'm probably gonna go back to that. So you probably see some Destiny 2 stuff that I might be putting up on here. But we'll see. But anyways, today's video is about World of Tanks, and today I am playing in my Centurion Action 10. This is a cool little gameplay that I was able to get. Playing Assault on Westfield. So on this one, we are defending. And the one thing I want to talk about in this video really is just I guess map awareness. I guess is the biggest thing. So right off the bat, you see me. I am the only person driving up the K line. And especially on Westfield, you have to make sure you guys no one lemon trains it, or at least if you're gonna lemon train fast. And luckily my team is able to do that. Not so much for the other team. They seem to split pretty evenly, as you'll see once I start spotting vehicles here. I was going to turn around, but I decided, you know what, somebody has to watch this flank. If nobody's going to watch this flank, they're going to be able to come up behind us and roll onto the base, and we have to defend. So sometimes it's good to remember to defend on assault if you're defending, but luckily my team is able to push, and luckily once I did help heavy tank starts coming along. I don't push too far since I know I don't have enough support. I want to make sure I have something to be able to back me up if I do start spotting stuff. So I'm going to let them, if they do come up to zero line like they are right there, then at least I will be able to spot them for my team and at least to know where they are. If the team was smart, they would have just kept rolling like our team did and just push. Like as you can see on the mini map, the majority of my team is pushing up the 1 and 2 line on as they're defending. So but yeah, I think the biggest thing you have to remember is even if you're like a solo vehicle, sometimes it works out where the other team is just not paying attention, or they're not, they don't realize that you're the only tank stopping them. And I'm making sure that they know I'm here, that they're being spotted. I am getting enemy spotted. I'm going to be doing some damage. I'm going to get a lot of spotted target hits because luckily heavy tanks coming along the way. I have a tank destroyer that's actually helping me at the G5 line. You can see him there with another heavy tank too, and they have shots for anything that comes across that immovable spot right there. So we're keeping them pinned down. I'm trying to keep them spotted while at the same time not taking any damage. But I have like a heavy tank moving up with me as well too. There you go. I figured that they're going to start pushing, and I wanted to make sure I can spot across as they come along, so I know what's going to come at me and around that corner at the K0 line. But I think the biggest thing, I think most people, and I think I can't stress this enough, and I think one of the biggest things I can tell the World of Tanks players, old and new, is to make sure is map awareness, making sure where you are on the battlefield, where your team is on the battlefield. It does help quite a bit, especially if you're a light tank. If you're bombing down the middle to get spots, realize that if you're pushing, you're faster than the majority of vehicles. You don't want to push too far ahead of your team, because even if you spot them, if they can't shoot, there's no opportunity for them to shoot, then it's worthless, and you might just get yourself killed and absolutely have contributed nothing other than showing where your team is. And I see that a lot of new light tank players will just suicide scout, and it does help a little bit, but you'd be better off sitting still in a bush and spotting vehicles for your team the rest of the time, or later on towards the end of the game. You can run circles around heavy tanks and get flanking them and being able to take out a tier 10 tank and your tier 8 tank, and those are the kinds of things you have to remember as a light tank or as a spotter. The Centurion Action 10 doesn't have the best view range, but what it does have is an insanely good turret. So I'm able to ridgeline. I'm using, luckily this heavy tank came up with me. I'm using his dead body as a shield, so I have some more armor on me. T30 is not waiting. I'm able to hit him, and the rest of my team is able to go ahead and start dealing more damage. Um, yeah, guys, and you can see it was just me and a heavy tank, and the heavy tank didn't last long. But thanks to me making sure I'm spotted, and I at least had one tank destroyer being able to help me and shoot anything that I spot for him, we were able to hold that line. My team pretty much just flanked on their end, which is awesome when your team's able to do that. But even if your team isn't able to do that, if you can hold a corner by yourself with one or two other vehicles and stop a whole 5 or 6 tanks using just 2 or 3, you have a good chance of winning the match if you're able to stall their advance. It's a lot of times you'll find a lot of these players, especially if they're tuned up, they'll just push and they'll see, oh nope, there's other tanks. So I think making sure your situational awareness, making sure you're aware of where the vehicles are. So right here, I know I can't get shot from anything. So if I go on the other side of this ridge, which I've been hesitant to do now, but now that there's nothing over there, I can just go around it, take out this E5, and get from behind, and the rest of my team's able to spot and start taking damage on them. Yep, there he goes. I'm taking a shot. Artie's taking a shot. I believe the tank destroyers, the light tank, and the heavy tank down there. I'm going to start taking shots at him too. I believe we got tracked right there. And yep, there you go. I'm just able to come up behind him, start doing damage, and finishing off one of the last few tanks. And I'm still getting spotted damage since I was the first one to spot him. So, and all that's left is the IS-7. And my team is we just rolled on these guys. So a lot of times when you see like your team lemon train like that, it does usually end in disaster. But this is one of those occasions where your team's doing what they're supposed to do. You're able to do what you're supposed to do on the other end, making sure to halt their advance and distract a few of their tanks from pushing on you. And yeah, guys, this IS-7 doesn't last long. I'm able to get up behind him and flank him and start doing damage as well. And as you can see, I spotted 6 vehicles, 15 spotted target hits, destroyed 2 vehicles, now 12 penetrations. I believe I end with 1 more here. Yep, and I get the final kill on that guy. So I got 3 kills, some critical hits, track damage, and 13 penetrations. For a grand total of, I believe it was like 9,000 total damage, like 4,000, a little over 4,000 assists and 4,000 regular damage. Wasn't enough for an ace tanker. You need some crazy stuff for an ace tanker. That's Centurion. But yeah, there it is, guys. Hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully I gave you some tips and whatnot. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.